What's up guys, welcome back to the Decent Garage. Another video for you here, and we've got my buddy Cade Whipple. This is a subscriber of the channel. He's been with us since the beginning, and he's here today to help us build the engine for the new crew cab project. So we've got the block here, we've got the crank, we've got the rebuild kit, we've got parts all over here, we've got stuff all over here, pistons, cam. So we are good to go. We're gonna build this. There's lots of good series on how to build a 12 valve engine on YouTube, so we're not gonna do this so much as a tutorial, but you'll be able to tell what we're doing. If there's anything particular that we do that maybe you wouldn't know to do, I'll put some text on the screen, but for the most part, you should be able to follow pretty easily what we're doing and why we're doing it. So let's get into it.
So this is a 160 to 180 horsepower style piston. This is a 215. You can see the difference between the top ring lands there. You get a little more heat dissipation between the top ring lands. Everything else is the same, but just the ring placement's a little different.
Right. So in order to get the rebuild kit that included the pistons for the 215 pump motor, I used the data plate information from one of Cade's motors. This is something you can do. The piston fits exactly the same. It's just a slightly more robust piston. So if that's something you want to do, just use the data plate from a 215 pump motor. All right guys, we're making great progress. We got the crank put in as you saw. So now we're gonna put the bearings into the end caps and get those put in. This involves checking the spec of the crank and those bearings with Plastigauge. Now we're not gonna explain how to do that. There's tons of videos on YouTube on how to do that. But if the crank is out of spec, you are gonna need to get it machined or get a new crank. We'll see how ours is. We're hoping for the best. All right, guys, we're making great progress. As you've seen, we got the crank in. We got that all set as well. All the gaps on that were perfect. So we are now getting the pistons ready to put onto the rods. And then we're gonna be putting the pistons in. So making good progress. Haven't run into too many snags so far that you guys know about. All right, so on the crank, we threw this wear sleeve on here because there was a groove in the end of it. So if you've got a groove in there, make sure to get a front main seal that comes with the wear sleeve. If you look here on the rear portion, this feels like it's a groove, but it's actually just buildup. So we're gonna clean that off, but that's what a groove might look like if you had one.
See, pretty much all gone, huh?
Mm-hmm. So the cam I went with is a Hamilton cam, a 178-208. Like I said at the beginning, this cam was in stock on the shelf at Diesel Auto Power. The cam is included in the build list in the description below. So again, if you use the code DecentGarage at Diesel Auto Power, you can get 10% off this cam. Okay, we got the cam in with the cam gear lined up with the timing mark on the crank. Very important. Alright guys, it's been a long day, but we got the bottom end put together. You guys saw everything. Turned out awesome. We didn't run into too many snags. We did run into one that I didn't mention, but I didn't have the end caps for the rods for the pistons that I had. So I ended up finding them, but they're in Boise with the previous owner, so he's gonna send them to me. But luckily, Cade's got a buddy here about an hour away, Josh Travis. He stepped up. He lent us some rods. I'm gonna give him my rods once I get those end caps back, and it saved the day. Otherwise, we were dead in the water without those. So we got those, we got it all put together, and it looks awesome. So, Cade, what do you think?
I think it went together good, and it was clean, made it easy to go back together. I think it'll be a good running motor when we get her done.
All right, good. So, stay tuned. Next video, we're gonna be doing the head, the top end, tappet cover, doing a little P-pump work, getting that. We should almost have a full built long block at the end of the next video. So thanks for your support. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one.
Adios.